have gate 37, which is family and the gate of friendship. Gate 37 is part of tribal ego circuitry, and it connects to will gate 40.
Now, this is finishing the bargain and creating the actual bargain that starts in 49. So each one of these is a completing process. And I like how you put the wave pool example. So gate 6 pushes in with its capacity to ignite the solar plex into life, into awareness, awake. It ignites it awake. And from it, it fans out to the right, down 49, 50, and 30, and it fans out to the left as I'm looking at this, pretending I was looking at 6, to the 37, 22, 36. Now, each of these become a stream that creates and then completes its own awareness process. I create the principles that I think I need to have. Now that it seems like we might have that, we're going to make a deal. We're going to make a bargain. And that bargain is going to include my affection. Gate 37 is completing what is this 49 process, and it is about friendliness. And that friendliness is so important because it's not the friendliness like a fourth line might give friendliness. Fourth line will give friendliness everywhere just in case there's an opportunity. 37 is no, we've gone through the vetting process, and before I let you at my table, which is a bargain, you know, oh, and if you're hungry, right, what are you going to say? Moni, you had something to say.
Oh, I just, it's neat connecting it all together. Like the 19's like, handshake, hey,
Yep,
what's up, flirt, flirt. And 49's like, do you
maybe.
satisfy my principles to let you into my tribe? And then it goes
Yeah,
up to the 37 and be like, can you hang? Do I invite you to my dinner table?
right. And will you eat? You might go hungry. You know, I mean, that's a big deal. 37 is very much concerned with now that all the principles are in place and feel, I feel affection towards this other person, enough affection to, I want, you know, I want to help dress their wound because they got hurt in the field. I want to pick them up when they fell down, whatever, all that stuff. And they want to support me back. That is a huge bargain, and all of it leads to gate 40 and the ego that's asking to get the work done. 37 says we do need to get this work done, and it's very spiritual minded. The first work that 37 ever got done was to make sure the temples were built. So, you know, and 40 got to work sawing up the logs and bringing down all the stuff and moving the boulders to make that happen. So what it says is a big part of our currency is affection. And we know that, you know, when you, and affection translates in a lot of ways. One of them is appreciation. If someone gives you their affection and it automatically means they're appreciative about what you did. Now that's juice for you to keep going. That actually empowers the other to keep going in a tribal sense. And so 37's friendliness comes with a bargain. And that bargain is an emotional awareness. 37 is the emotional awareness to know that we're going to get the work done. We're going to survive together. And it's basic, you know, fear. It's got a fear, is the fear of that the family will fall apart. You know, it's a fear of that that things aren't quite necessarily working. And that fear drives intelligence. Fear drives intelligence. And that intelligence that it drives is vetting and keeping the right people in to be sensitive towards, to have support of loyalty, affection, trust, all the things, and I can touch them and we eat together and all of that. That's serious business. The other two things are fanciful compared to this piece of the emotional process. And through 49 and 37, 37 being the expression of that, we become clear on who we're going to put our time in to get the rest of the work done that makes the tribe survive in the first place. You know, the work, the stuff, the things, all the stuff. And it's not all about work. This is not a slave driver process. It's just that try and live a life where no work gets done. You know, it doesn't work anywhere that I've ever seen it.
Chop wood, carry water. Like stuff has to
Yep.
get done for the tribe to survive. Like you just got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. It just, everyone does their little part. And here's the bargain. You do this. You take out the trash. You mow the grass. You get groceries.
Right, right. I'm taking care of the children right now and they're infants, and you better protect me. And that's part of the bargain. Protection is a big
Mm.
part of the tribal bargain. In fact, that's a huge part of the tribal bargain. It's assumed you're protected. So something happens and you're like, no, 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 my guys back here aren't going to do that. And you lurch forward with that confidence because you're part of a tribe, or you don't. You sink into a small shell and you have to back away from certain things because you're not sure if you have that support behind you. And the tribe's emotional awareness to giving that support or not is an incredible thing to become clear on. That is awareness.
37, that tribal bargain, the you do this, I do this, we're part of the deal, we're part of the family, it's got to get done. Here's the bargain, here's what's going on.